As we've been reporting, clergy sex abuse is dominating the meeting of the U.S. Catholic bishops in Baltimore. But there is another topic on the agenda: racism. Tomorrow, the U.S. bishops are expected to release their first pastoral letter on this subject since 1979. Joining me now from Baltimore is Bishop George Murry of the Diocese of Youngstown and the former chairman of the Bishops' Ad Hoc Committee Against Racism. Your Excellency, welcome back to the broadcast.
Thank you very much. Happy to be with you, Lauren.
And congratulations on being now cancer-free. We're very happy for you. You're in Baltimore as part of the discussion on clergy sex abuse. But there's another topic we'd like to talk to you about, and that's racism. This is the first time in nearly 40 years the nation's bishops have spoken out on race. And I was listening this morning to bishops discussing this document, and it seems that the themes are very similar to this document from all of those years ago. So why is it time right now to address this issue?
It is because racism has become such an important topic and such a verbalized topic in our society. I think in earlier years, we were all aware that racism existed. But in many cases, the racism that existed was more underground or sotto voce. Now, in some of the incidents that we have seen across our country, it is very, very obvious, very much out front. And that's why Cardinal DiNardo formed this committee against racism 18 months ago or so, to try and deal with it in a different way than it has been dealt with in the past.
The massacre at the Tree of Life Synagogue in Pittsburgh was fueled by anti-Semitism, and an FBI report showed that there was a nearly 23% increase in religion-based hate crimes. So how do we as Catholics help restore unity when so much of the discourse today is intended to divide?
Well, I was very impressed to see how many Catholics, Protestants, Muslims, people who were obviously not Jewish, who stood with the people in Pittsburgh. I think it's that solidarity. I think we have failed at times to challenge each other and to call each other forward and say we have to see every human being is created in the image and likeness of God. And the more we do that, I think the more we can reduce these incidences. But we have a lot of extremists in our society now, and people have just resorted to violence. The more we challenge ourselves and our neighbors and our friends and remind them that there are other ways of settling differences than violence, the better off we are.
You know, Bishop, how do we change institutions? We can change hearts and minds by our individual actions, but I feel like institutional racism is tougher to crack.
Well, a number of institutions have begun the process by raising the issue, by saying we need to talk about this and not push it aside or act like it's going to somehow be solved on its own. I think that even though it's uncomfortable, we as a church and we as church institutions have to challenge ourselves and have to bring to the fore that there are racist attitudes in some of our institutions. And when we've done that, we can make changes. I think we have to be much more honest about racism, and that way we can start the process of changing institutions.
I think what you're saying is awareness, acceptance, action. Thank you so much, Bishop George Murry of the Diocese of Youngstown. Action.
Thank you very much, Lauren.